When we think of zombies, our minds often drift to the realms of fiction, to lumbering figures on a cinema screen. Deep within lush, humid tropical forests, a far stranger and more unsettling story unfolds. One that is entirely real. Welcome to Brain Binge. Let's begin. Imagine an ant, a diligent worker suddenly abandoning its colony and lifelong duties. It moves erratically, as if guided by an unseen force compelled to leave its home. This is not make-believe, it is biological reality. These are the so-called zombie ants, caught in the grip of a parasitic fungus which seizes control of their bodies, turning them into unwilling vehicles for its own dark purpose. The phenomenon is as fascinating as it is unnerving. The ant, a model of social cooperation, is transformed into a solitary wanderer with a singular final mission. It is a mission that does not benefit the ant or its colony. Instead, every twitch, every step, every final desperate action serves only the parasite. This is not a simple illness. It is a complete hijacking. The fungus manipulates its host's behavior with astonishing precision, a testament to millions of years of evolutionary warfare. A drama of life and death, played out on the miniature stage of the forest floor. What exactly is a zombie ant? An ordinary ant, often a carpenter ant, infected by a very specific fungus. The most famous of these puppeteers is Ophiocordyceps unilateralis. The fungus has evolved an intricate strategy that depends entirely on controlling its host. Zombie is our human label, a way to grasp the strange, mindless behavior. The ant is not undead, but its will is overridden, a puppet of its fungal master. The story reveals how interconnected and brutal nature can be. It shows complex strategies organisms develop to survive, to reproduce, even when that means subjugating another creature. From the microscopic world of fungal spores to the observable, tragic behavior of a single ant. A level of biological manipulation so sophisticated it seems like science fiction, yet it happens every single day in hidden corners of our world. The antagonist in this natural drama, Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, member of a diverse group of parasitic fungi experts in ant manipulation. Many species of Ophiocordyceps, this lineage specialized, not everywhere, thrives in tropical forests, subtropical forests across the globe. Brazil, Thailand requires high humidity, stable temperatures. A world teeming with life-abundant ant colonies, such essential resource. Doesn't hunt, lies in wait. Life begins as a microscopic spore, a tiny, resilient genetic package. Spores released from previous victims rain down on the forest floor, low-lying vegetation. A nearly invisible minefield, ants forage through it. An ant walking through picks up a spore on its leg or its antenna. Spore is sticky, adheres to the ant's exoskeleton. Initial contact, the quiet start of total takeover of the ant's life. The fungus is a specialist. Different Ophiocordyceps target specific ant species. Carpenter ant in Thailand, different ant species in the Amazon specialization. Uraskish, highly effective parasite. Has a precise biochemical toolkit, tailored to overcome host defenses, high chance of success. A master codebreaker of biological locks. Spore attached. Clock starts. Must breach physical defenses, exoskeleton is a formidable barrier. Fungus's solution. Enzymes dissolve cuticle, mechanical pressure from growth. The spore begins to germinate. It sends a tiny, tube-like filament that drills its way through the ant's armor. Once this filament penetrates the shell and reaches the soft tissues within, the invasion is complete. The fungus is inside, and the ant's fate is sealed. That is where the real takeover begins. With the outer defenses breached, the fungus begins its next phase, colonization. Inside the ant's body cavity, filled with a nutrient-rich fluid called hemolymph, the fungus finds an ideal environment for growth. It transitions from its initial form into individual yeast-like cells that can be circulated throughout the ant's body. These cells begin to multiply, spreading to every corner of the host, tip of its abdomen, inside of its legs. During this initial period, which can last for several days, the ant may show few, if any, outward signs of infection. It returns to its nest, interacts with its colony mates, and carries on with its duties as normal. This silent, creeping invasion is a crucial part of the fungus's strategy. By remaining undetected, it avoids triggering the ant's internal immune system and the social immunity of the colony. Where sick individuals are removed and isolated, the fungal cells proliferate, forming an extensive network of filaments, mycelia. The network grows and weaves itself between the ant's internal organs and around muscle fibers. It is a patient, methodical takeover. It's a sophisticated, multi-layered control system. The fungus doesn't just hijack the ant's brain, it seizes direct control of its body. This is achieved through a combination of physical manipulation, where fungal cells form a dense network around the muscles, and a relentless chemical warfare, secreting compounds that dictate the ant's every move. Once the fungus has established this comprehensive network and chemically isolated the ant from its own colony, it initiates the most dramatic phase of its manipulation, the death march. The infected ant, now a true zombie, abandons its nest and its colony for the last time, driven by an impulse it cannot resist. It wanders aimlessly at first, a final flicker of its former self, but soon its movements become strangely purposeful. It is compelled to climb. The ant ascends the stem of a plant, an act completely contrary to its normal ground-dwelling life. Healthy ants forage on the forest floor. This vertical journey is a behavior programmed entirely by the parasite. The fungus is guiding its host toward a very specific location, a launch pad perfectly suited for its own reproduction. Research shows the fungus directs the ant to the north side of a plant, avoiding the harsh, drying effects of direct sunlight. It guides the ant to a precise elevation, about 25 centimeters above the ground. At this height, the temperature and humidity are optimal for fungal growth. Not too wet, not too dry. It's a Goldilocks zone, a microclimate that ensures the parasite's survival and successful sporulation. The ant will often find its way to the underside of a leaf, a sheltered position for what comes next. As the sun reaches its highest point in the sky, often around solar noon, the fungus delivers its final chilling command. It manipulates the muscles in the ant's mandibles, triggering a powerful, convulsive, and irreversible contraction. The ant bites down with tremendous force, usually onto the central vein of a leaf. This death grip is the ant's final involuntary action. The force creates a lockjaw, and the muscles quickly atrophy, permanently anchoring the ant to its high-altitude perch, creating a stable platform for the fungus to complete its life cycle. The ant is now fixed in place, a prisoner in its own body, awaiting its end in the perfect fungal nursery. Within hours of this final bite, the fungus finishes consuming the ant's soft tissues and severs the connections to its brain. The ant hangs there, a macabre monument to the parasite's success. It has been maneuvered into the ideal position and time to allow the fungus to complete its life cycle. The ant's entire existence has been subverted to serve the reproductive needs of its fungal invader. The zombie's journey is over, but the fungus's story is just beginning. With the ant dead and securely fastened, the fungus enters its reproductive stage. The mycelial network inside the ant's body reorganizes its efforts. Having consumed most of the internal nutrients, it now focuses all its energy on a single, dramatic goal: producing a fruiting body. Over the next several days, a stalk, known as a stroma, begins to grow. This stalk is the fungus's reproductive organ. When the spores are mature and the atmospheric conditions are just right, the fruiting body releases them, blanketing a small patch of the forest floor, approximately 1 square meter in area, and begin the cycle anew. For years, the most profound mystery surrounding zombie ants was how the fungus achieves such precise behavioral control. The logical assumption was that the parasite invaded the ant's brain, directly controlling it like a joystick. However, recent and incredibly detailed three-dimensional imaging studies have revealed something far more complex and subtle. When scientists mapped the fungal cells within an infected ant, they found mycelia forming a vast, interconnected network throughout the ant's body, surrounding muscle fibers, invading muscle fibers. But, astonishingly, the brain itself remains largely untouched. This discovery changed everything. The fungus does not take over the driver's seat. Instead, it cuts the wires and seizes control of the machinery directly. The fungal network, which can make up nearly half the ant's total body weight, acts like an external brain, a secondary nervous system. With a threat this insidious and relentless, a single spore capable of dooming an individual, it's a genuine puzzle. Faced with such a devastatingly effective parasite, one might wonder how ant colonies manage to survive at all. The answer lies not in individual strength, but in their collective social behavior. Ant colonies have developed a multi-pronged defense strategy known as social immunity, a set of coordinated behaviors that protect the entire superorganism. One of the first and most crucial lines of defense is meticulous, almost obsessive grooming. Healthy ants frequently clean themselves and their nestmates, using their mandibles and legs like tiny combs to remove spores from the exoskeleton before they can germinate. It is a constant, collective hygiene effort that significantly reduces the initial rate of infection within the colony. Furthermore, ants are adept at detecting when one of their own is not well. They can pick up on subtle chemical changes or abnormal movements. When an ant begins to show the erratic, twitching symptoms of an Ophiocordyceps infection, its healthy nestmates recognize the danger. In a stark display of communal defense, healthy workers will forcibly remove the infected individual from the nest, carry it far away, and abandon it to its fate. This act of sanitary self-preservation is harsh for the individual, but it is absolutely vital for the survival of the colony. By exiling the zombie before it can climb and release its deadly spores near the nest or on major foraging trails, the ants protect the wider population from a catastrophic outbreak. It's a brutal but effective quarantine. Now it is natural to hear about a mind-controlling fungus and feel a shiver of concern. The story is the stuff of science fiction nightmares, made real on the forest floor. So the question inevitably arises, could this happen to other animals, or even to us? After witnessing such a chilling display of biological puppetry, it's natural to wonder if this microscopic monster could ever make the leap to humans. The good news is that we are perfectly safe. Ophiocordyceps unilateralis and its close relatives are highly specialized parasites. This isn't a generalist pathogen. It's a precision-engineered weapon that has co-evolved with its target for millions of years. Their entire biological toolkit, the enzymes used to penetrate the exoskeleton, the chemicals used to manipulate the nervous system, is tailored specifically to certain ant species. It's a biological lock and key mechanism of incredible specificity. A human body, with our warm-blooded temperature, is like a furnace for a fungus adapted to the cool forest floor. And our complex immune system, with its vigilant patrols of white blood cells, would swiftly identify and annihilate any stray spore. Our biology is a fortress this fungus simply cannot breach. The zombie ant story is a marvel of the natural world, not a threat to human health. In the end, the tale of the zombie ant is a powerful reminder of the intricate and often ruthless forces of evolution. It demonstrates how a seemingly simple organism like a fungus can develop a strategy of breathtaking complexity to ensure its survival and propagation. The ant climbs, bites, and dies, not of its own free will, but as a hijacked vessel, an unwilling instrument of the fungus's reproductive imperative. This is nature in its most raw and fascinating form. It is a story of control, of sacrifice, and of the endless biological arms race between parasite and host, a silent, microscopic war waged for millions of years. What did you find most fascinating or creepy about the zombie ant fungus? Is it the mind control, the death grip, or something else entirely? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the weird and wonderful world of science, be sure to like this video and subscribe to Brain Binge for more content that feeds your curiosity.